G'day YouTube, Max Wright here, and welcome. We got just a monster video for you today. Massive Bitcoin update, massive macroeconomic update, massive announcement that you guys have been waiting for a few months. I've finally finished something that I promised. COVID slowed me down. I apologize for that, but it's here, it's now, and it's available. And I know you guys are going to be super excited about that. A bunch of you have been waiting for that. We'll get to that. And what else? Oh yeah, I've got a very cool video planned for tomorrow, so make sure you stay to the end. I'll tell you what's going on there. Okay, so let's get into these Bitcoin charts first. Bitcoin charts first. So first of all, you'll notice that exactly as I predicted, we came up and we kissed 14K today. Actually, we were just shy of it. We hit like 13, what did we hit? Like 13,589, something like that. And I do need to take a moment. This green line, it's been on my charts for ever and ever, except the number is slightly changed. So this says 13,859. I just moved that today, and the reason I did is just because I'm not retroactively going up to fit that candle. That line comes from the monthly chart, and what it is it's the tops of these candles and the top of that wick. That's what it should have been. And I just set $100 high just because I was lazy and wasn't accurate. And as I went to have a look at this chart today, I was like, oh, I just corrected it. And then I thought to myself, oh no, everyone's going to think I'm like moving the goalposts after this wick came up and kissed it. And not the case. I was just lazy the day I put it down there. I didn't want you guys to think I was trying to mislead you at all. So I wanted to point that out. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so I want you to notice here, actually, I'm pointing out here, right here on this day, the day this broke out, right here in this day, I think somewhere in here, actually it was down here, somewhere here I made another video predicting a massive explosion in Bitcoin. And then right up here, it's kind of everyone on YouTube was saying, like, oh, we're right here at 13K, we hit some resistance, and people were saying we're going to turn back around. Everyone was saying we're going to turn back around. It's like, no, I was like, guys, 13K is not the line of resistance. It's up here. It's up here. This is where it's going to. It's going to 14K. And I just want to show you that real fast. It's well worth going back and watching. So you can see here 6 days ago, just below my cursor here, you can see that purple box. You can see that red arrow on there going up to 14K, where that red line and that green line intersect. Is tomorrow the day that Bitcoin goes ballistic? And again, you see that purple box, the red line's even longer, the candles are back, and that was about 2 weeks ago. And then Bitcoin breaks bullish. The day we broke out from that blue symmetrical triangle, I made this video and said we are headed up north significantly. And all those videos just came to play out just exactly as I predicted, coming up here to 14K. So, okay, spiked the ball, a little bit of a victory lap. Sorry for that, but I had to because you got to, in the words of Donald Trump, if you don't promote yourself, who does? So, but now the big question becomes, what happens next? What happens next? Well, at the very least, given that we've just copied this blue symmetrical triangle, given that we just copied this bounce off the bottom 30% increase, there's the blue symmetrical triangle, bounce off the bottom 30% increase. Something else of significance, we hit up here. What do you know? There's this big engulfing red candle, right? And it's got a big ass wick all the way down here. Well, what did we just do? We just bounced off the top here, and what do we have? A big red candle with a wick that goes all the way down here. Now this candle hasn't closed yet. Is it going to be engulfing? Is it going to not be? I don't know. But again, the similarities are just stacking up to this. Just whatever the hell happened here, it's just repeating. And here we are. So at the very least, should we not consider the fact that this repetition is going to continue? Whatever happened in this period here, can we not entertain the fact that maybe this happens again? So let's check out exactly what happened. Well, we come up here, we kiss the top. That's what we've just done today. Big red candle back down. It was engulfing last time. Maybe it will be this time. I don't know. But that's your left shoulder. Down to the neckline. Up to the head. Down to the neckline. Up to the right shoulder. And collapse. All right? You've got to entertain this. You've got to entertain this as what might happen right here. But so head and shoulder pattern, but really more importantly, what we care about is sideways trend for, what is this? September 1st back to October 1st. So we're talking August, September, we're talking about 1 month, 30 days. 30 days of effectively sideways action, okay? Just in this range. So at the very least, we have to entertain the fact that what we are going to be looking at in Bitcoin's future is 30 days sideways. 30 days sideways right here, just going through this range. Maybe we put a head and shoulder. Maybe we break above this green line, kiss this, this trend line again at the head, because that's what happened back here, right? The left shoulder was at the trend line. The head was at the trend line. Maybe we're going to come up here and the head kicks up here and it comes back down. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let me see if I can find something useful here. No, don't really want that. Don't want anything there. Want something in there. Let's maybe go this call out. Is that what this is? Nope, not it. Rectangle, that's what I want. So let's entertain the idea that we're going to stay in this range for 30 days. And then let's, where are we here? We are 27th of October. Let's go through to 27th of November. Let's at least entertain that idea. I'll bring this back a smidge. Okay, let's entertain that. Including here, we've got up to, in case the head comes up, kisses this trend line again, right shoulder on this green line, and then break down to this trend line. Okay, so let's just entertain that as an idea. But I got to say, there are a lot of things going on. Just a lot of things going on in the macro world. I want to jump now because, okay, this is played out exactly as I've said. I would expect either, like, just not looking at the chart, I would expect a pullback or a consolidation period. Something like that. This is just a 30% rise over a couple weeks. It's like, okay, it's time to have a breather. And so, I would expect it sideways or downtrend from here. But, okay, no worries. I don't know. We don't know what's going on. I want to jump away and look at the macro trend now, because I think that's going to be super important. We need to understand this. And let's not forget world events. We have the US election coming up soon. A traditionally very volatile period. But let's go look at the macro. First of all, we've been talking a lot about this, that correlation has broken. So we have here in the last 3 weeks or so, we have a 30% increase in Bitcoin. Okay, let's go down and check out Apple. What did Apple do in the last 30 days? Well, it went sideways. Okay, what did the Dow Jones do in the last 30 days? Well, it went sideways. What did the S&P do in the last 30 days? It went sideways. What did the Australian stock market do? The last 30 days, it went sideways. What did gold do? Last 30 days, pretty close to sideways, maybe a slight increase. Silver was maybe one of the big outliers until today. Last 30 days, it went sideways. But significantly, it broke this long-term trend line and broke out of this channel with a significant candle from silver. So the last 30 days, Bitcoin has just been standalone, crazy, killer investment. Everything else, not everything else, but the other thing that we looked at, but pretty much everything else, just getting clobbered, absolutely clobbered, or sideways, nothing interesting compared to Bitcoin. Remember, measuring your wealth in terms of dollars, this just gets very, very boring because dollars all over the joint and everything's in correlation. So you want to measure your wealth in anything else. The last 30 days, if you were in anything other than Bitcoin, you got poorer in compared to Bitcoin. But okay, it's a little bit of an arbitrary time frame. Let's just eyeball it a little bit longer. And remember, we go back longer. Let's go back to Bitcoin here. Just Bitcoin throughout all this period, all in here, we're talking like months and months and months and months and months, even years. We're talking Bitcoin had a very strong correlation with all the other asset classes. Very strong. The big question that needs to be asked is, has Bitcoin broken correlation with everything else? Every Bitcoiner wants this to happen. The vast majority of Bitcoiners are thinking that the world's in trouble, stock market's going down, real estate's going down. With the exception of gold and silver, we want to see Bitcoin heading in the opposite direction of these other things. So that's what we want to have happen. The question has it happened? And we still, I think, need to wait for correlation. But let's look at some bigger time frames here. So we just did the last 30 days, we did this. Well, okay, let's go back to, it's probably about 50 days, 40 days, something like this. Well, Bitcoin from 12,000 up to 14,000. Let's just call it a 15, 20% increase. I don't want to make the video too long, so I'm not going to get the measuring tool out. And let's go down and check out Apple. So what's happened over the last couple months? Yeah, again, we're going probably a little bit more. So it's here or maybe down here. Maybe Apple did go up a little bit sideways. Let's go to Dow Jones. Dow Jones, we're talking 40, 50 days here, just dead sideways. S&P, 40, 50 days sideways or maybe a slight up. And where else we can go take a look at gold. Gold down even over the 30, 40 day mark. Silver, we are talking sideways or maybe from here, slightly down, 40, 50 day mark. So again, Bitcoin over the larger time frames, Bitcoin's going up significantly. I'm doing this as we go through this. By the way, guys, I haven't got an agenda here. So let's go back. Let's have a look at mid-July. We were down here at this point. This is the one where we've gone from 9,000 up to 14,000, and we're talking about a 50% increase here. Let's take a look at this from the middle of July. Let's go through, let's take a look at these things. Apple, from middle of July, we're here, and went up strong. So maybe we're gonna go back far enough to where the correlation we are in play. Middle of July, slight increase in the Dow Jones. S&P, slight increase. Nowhere near a 50% increase, but we're talking 10, 15%. Australian stock market, middle of July, Australian stock market down. What's gold done in this time? Middle of July, let's go back to about here. We're talking even, level across. What else have we got? Silver, middle of July, we're talking slight increase. So, okay, but Bitcoin is the big winner. Now, if Bitcoin is the big winner when everything else is going up, and then it's the big loser when everything's going down, all that means is you're just in for sleepless nights and headaches. The question is it breaking out? But I think if you go back far enough, I completely agree. The correlation is strong. The question is, are we breaking out of that correlation? The last 30 days seems to suggest so, and a few other things seems to suggest so. Let's go back to the Bitcoin chart. What are we looking at here? Higher high, higher high, higher high. Well, we had some lows here, but higher high in here. Okay, let's go and look at these same time frames. Let's go back to Apple. What do we got? Lower highs. What do we got in the Dow Jones? Lower highs. And then there's this drop off a cliff action over here. And there's another one here. From here, lower high, S&P. Let's go look at the Australian stock market. Here, high, lower high, maybe lower high coming again. What's happening in gold? High, lower high. What's happening in silver? High, lower high. Bitcoin is trending up. Well, it's got the higher high trending up action for just that period of time at least. The evidence is mounting that Bitcoin wants to break away. Now, actually, I will talk more about this tomorrow in the one. I'm going to criticize, it's such a bad word. I'm going to critique and challenge. I'm going to challenge and offer an altering opinion to several other big Bitcoiners and some other macro traders out there to just to take a look at a different way of looking at it, because I think they might be missing something, and that's going to be in the video tomorrow. So I might leave that there. But the big question is correlation ending? Is it not? And I'll give you a part of this is, I don't think it's black or white. It correlates or it doesn't correlate. When everything else is just going along whatever, Bitcoin's got the strength and broken out of the correlation to do its own thing. But if everything over here shits the bed 50%, does that mean Bitcoin's not correlated now, it just keeps going? No, it doesn't have the strength of lack of correlation to just ignore when 50%, everything else gets smashed by 50%. So there's degrees. It's not a black and white. And I would argue that right now, Bitcoin is showing an enormous amount of strength to post these green candle after green candle after green candle, 30% increase when everything else is going sideways or down. But as I've been talking about for months now, there's a big macro question mark. We've got the election coming up. We have a huge chance that we're going to not know who that is. Markets hate uncertainty. We might not get a result election night. We might not get a result for weeks or months if it's contested. And not just that, we are really at the end. Raoul Pal says this very, very well. I've agreed with this thesis from the very, very beginning. It was the same as mine from like 8 years ago. There is going to be, there's this, the big, whatever, 8 years of big. Then we hit a point and there's going to be a breaking point. We're going to have a shutter. That was March of this year. Then he calls it the hope phase. It's going to come back up, and we've kind of peaked at that. Look at all those lower lows on all those asset classes except for Bitcoin. All those lower highs. We see it starting to trend down, and it's entirely possible that all drops off a cliff and we go significantly lower. A big macro shock. I do not think Bitcoin has the power to be strong enough to have negative correlation to a big macro drop. Okay, so I am still expecting Bitcoin to get hit. Okay, I want you guys to know that. I want you guys to understand that. It is a very, very valid thesis. This little blue line here, it's like, okay, we go sideways for a little bit, maybe before we go off, or maybe we don't. This is a very, very valid thesis that we're going to copy this area right here. Okay, so beware of those. And yeah, I don't see Bitcoin charging out of the top of this trend line and staying up there and racing towards all-time highs just yet. 100%. Medium term, I'm extremely bullish Bitcoin. Long term, extremely bullish Bitcoin. But I think we're going to have a little rest period right here, maybe even a pullback. And then after that big macro shock that I am predicting is coming, after that, I think you will see Bitcoin will get smashed, and you will see big time a deviation, correlation ends, and Bitcoin pins its ears back and races away in a 2021 bull market, the likes of which we have never seen. We're talking 6-figure Bitcoins next year. That is my prediction. You've probably heard it a dozen times already. That is my prediction. You know what? I'm going to answer a question because I get it over and over again. I know people say, so what, should I buy? Should I wait for the big dip? Listen, if I didn't have any Bitcoin now, I would be terrified that I don't have enough, that I'm not there. I think you need to be exposed to Bitcoin, 100%. Even though my immediate short-term prediction is a sideways or down, I can be wrong. And Bitcoin can break and vault. If you don't have any Bitcoin, I would want some exposure to it, because I could be wrong and it could go. But if you do have a pretty healthy position in Bitcoin, as I do, and you've come in and you have some cash sitting around, I'm leaving my cash on the sidelines. I have a nice healthy pool where I think I can come in big time at this crash. Now, I can do that, and I have that luxury because I have a shit ton of Bitcoin. Now, if the market drops 20, 30, 40%, I don't care. I know it's going up. I know I can hold it. I'm not over leveraged. I can't get margin called. I have enough money in the bank for my lifestyle for years and years and years. I'm good. I'm not under any of those stress. All of those things play into what you should do right now. If you don't have any Bitcoin, I would definitely get some exposure to Bitcoin. However, you might get smacked in the teeth here pretty shortly. You might. But I would definitely not use all of it, because I think we're just going sideways or down. And you want to keep some cash on the sidelines ready to jump in on that next big dip. Okay? I get that question almost every single video, so I thought I'd just go ahead and repeat that here. Okay, so that's the Bitcoin update. That is the macro update. Next, onto the big announcement. Guys, I promised you this, I think about 2 months ago, and COVID slowed me down, and I'm sorry, but in the Success Council members area, for those of you there, I have completed the crypto trading course, my crypto trading course. And you can see we just intro mindset and software, how to get started. And then, we start at the very, very beginning. What is a candle? What is a trend line? How do you plot them? What are you looking for? We go through exit strategy, risk reward ratio, risk management. There's spreadsheets in there you can download to help you manage all of those things. I talk about the exchanges I use. And then the big ones here, my strategy and my signal. I share those two things with you, how I use them to work together. I get a signal, and then there's a 7-step process that I reveal in my strategy section, where once I get a signal, do I make a trade? Not necessarily. If I do, where do I put the stop loss? Where do I take profits? It's all revealed right here in these two. And then I do some example buys and shorts, and even I'll do one here on a sideways trend. I think these two are on upward trends, these two are on downward trends, and then this is a sideways trend. Then I cap it off with final thoughts. It turned out so much better than I was expecting, and I'm just really, really, really excited by what we've got there. Now, at the moment, I got to do it. This is probably the last chance. So for those of you who don't know, I have this website, successcouncil.com. I've had it for 8 years. And in this members area is stuff that I've added over the course of about 8 years. I got a Bitcoin starter kit, Bitcoin mastery. These were written in like 2012, 2013. And I mean, things like internationalization, second passports, having some wealth in different jurisdictions, in different continents. If you're gonna hold cash, how to hold it safely, and how to get an amazing return during times of zero interest rate. Gold and silver, monster section. And right there in this section, I talk about the entire history of money, which is extremely important when understanding Bitcoin and understanding the entire macro thing. Almost my entire macro thesis that I talk with you guys on this channel all the time. If you want to know the foundation of it, it's in this monster section talking about gold and silver, history of money, etc. It's all right there. There's lots of other free bonuses and cool things and things like that. Here's why I'm telling you all of this. As it stands right now, this crypto trading course, it was a free, unannounced bonus for all my members, from the people who bought in 2012, people who bought in 2013, all the way up to the people who bought in 2020. I don't charge extra. Once you're a member, you're a lifetime member, and you go in and you just, as I add things, as I get passionate about things, as I get good at things, I go ahead and put it in the members area, and it just grows and grows and grows and accumulates all the time. And with like crypto trading courses, all the ones that I see, we're talking thousands and thousands of dollars, thousands of dollars. I gave this away for free to existing members. Now, I believe it has so much value and is such a hot product right now. And with the bull market of 2021, every man and their dog is going to be looking for a crypto trading course. And here's what I think is most likely going to happen. In the next couple of months, Bitcoin will hit an all-time high. The entire world's going to rush into crypto. Everyone's going to be wanting crypto, and I'm going to have this trading course, and I'm going to say, listen, I'm probably going to sell this for $1,000 standalone and whatever else. Right now, if people that I'm going to reopen Success Council so you can join Success Council again, it is significantly less than that, and it's just a free bonus that I don't even mention. It's just in there. So there's an opportunity to get this crypto trading course along with everything else in the Success Council members area at a ridiculously low price, a price that I'll probably never ever offer again, because the amount of value in here and how relevant it is to today, the price is just almost certainly going to go up. And so this is a very, very last chance to get the entire Success Council course and get grandfathered into the crypto trading course completely free. And so what they'll do, about 3-4 months ago, was it 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, something like that, I went ahead and I did a live webinar. And this thing is just incredible. It's 60 minutes of just pure content. It perfectly maps out the exact plan to multiply your wealth. I mean, go do a quantum leap of wealth, the strategy that I'm following and I believe will work out very, very well in my favor for the next 2 years. It involves crypto, it involves real estate, it involves multiple different asset classes and jumping from one to the other at the exact right time. It's just extremely important. I can't tell you how proud I am of this video. It's the keys to the kingdom, in my opinion. It's about how to have an absolute quantum leap in your wealth, right? And of course, there's no guarantees, which hasn't happened yet. There's still time to take advantage of it if you subscribe to my thesis. And I highly recommend you go and check out that video. Now, that video, at the end of it, there's a sales pitch to join Success Council at the old prices. I wanted to give you guys one last chance to get grandfathered in at the old prices. And in fact, it's a recording from a few months ago before the crypto trading course even existed. And if you go ahead and you can go and watch that replay of that webinar that I did. At the end, there's a pitch to become a Success Council member. It does not mention the crypto trading course, but if you purchase, you will get the crypto trading course for free. You get grandfathered in. The next time I'm going to make this opportunity available, it's going to be in a couple months' time when Bitcoin's at an all-time high and probably the price is going significantly higher. So I just wanted to let you guys know there is a last chance to become a Success Council member right there. Do that. It's going to be the first link in the description. You can go ahead and check that out now. It's set up so it looks like a live webinar, but there's always one starting in like 15, 20 minutes. So it's actually a replay. Sorry about that. That's just marketing. You gotta do what you gotta do. It looks like it's live, but it's actually recorded several months ago. Okay, I'm gonna leave that there. I hope that's helpful. And finally, I want to share with you guys what I'm going to go ahead and do tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm going to release a video, and I'm going to, I know what the thumbnail is going to be. I know what the headline is going to be. It's going to be a bit clickbaity. It's going to be calling out this gentleman, Alessio Rastani. So apologies for the clickbait. Keep an eye out for the clickbait tomorrow. But I really like Alessio. I think he's a very, very smart guy. He's been a trader for many, many years. He's probably forgotten more about trading than I'll ever know. So I have a lot of respect for Alessio, and I've been watching his videos for a long time. But he's just made some calls in the last couple of weeks that were contrary to my calls. And honestly, it's I just want to humbly ask him, but now that it's already happened and played out, that I was right. I might change the tone a little bit. I got to remember to keep my humility in check. I want to ask, like, well, why were you doing the things that you were doing? It just seemed wrong to me. Now, there's several things that I think that Alessio is 100% correct on. We agree big time on this big, scary macro thing in the near future. And there's a lot of things, but I'm gonna challenge. There's a video because the vast majority of the Bitcoin pundits out there, the YouTube rock stars of Bitcoin, I love them. They're all good. I watch them. They were all saying that we're going to stop here at 13K, and I was just like, no, it's 14K is where it's at. I don't know why you don't see it. And so I'm going to make a video about that, and forgive the clickbaity nature of it. But I think we're going to learn a lot, I think, about what to hit, what to miss. And for those of you who know, last video, we had a lot of fun. I did an impersonation of Ivan on Tech. Another guy who I love. If I do an impersonation of you, please know it's out of love. And we just had a lot of fun with it. And go. Yes, we're live. It was just a lot of fun. Worth going back and watch. And I love doing impersonations. I do movie quotes all the time. And so I might just start dropping Easter eggs in these videos where I'm just doing an impersonation, maybe a movie quote, maybe another YouTuber. I want you to watch tomorrow's video, see if you can pick an Easter egg. I got a plan to do one in there, so that might be super fun. All right, guys, do all the wonderful things, like, subscribe. Oh, you know what? Look at this thing. This should have been on the screen the whole time. My little subscribe button. So subscribe, like, and share. Really help me. We're really, really close to. Let me check it out. We're really close to. Where are we? 18.8K subscribers. Let's kick this across the line, guys. Help me get to 19. From there, we're at striking distance to 20. Oh, let's get 20,000 subscribers before Bitcoin hits 20,000. Yes, that's a worthwhile goal. Let's do that. Really, really appreciate your help. Like, subscribe, share, do all the wonderful things. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. And keep an eye out for tomorrow for that fun video. I'll see you then.